Hi, thank you so much for watching. This is Molly from Hairamedics Salon in La Jolla. The topic of this video is going to be how to get your hair sleek and smooth without it being flat, and get that shine to come out of the ends without using a flat iron. The flat iron is kind of a dated look and just too flat. And so I'm going to show you first, like usual, the tools that I used to get where I'm at, and then just do a brief demo of how to do it on this last section. So here's the tray that has all of our products on it. So first, this is an 1.5-inch barrel curling iron. Then this is Lift It, a root boost that's made by Color Proof. This is Super Plump and All Over Thickening Spray. This one is called Plush Locks. It's a moisturizing leave-in conditioner, and followed by Crazy Smooth, which is a moisturizing oil. The Lift It is where we'll start with the explanation. So Lift It is a root booster. In this first rectangle, so if you kind of put your palm on the back of your head and lay it forward where it goes towards that front hairline, that's everywhere where the Lift It goes. When you look at this bottle, you'll see it has a directional nozzle that's kind of a point. And when you put it in, you hold it pretty close and just every 3/4 of an inch spray a line from the front of that rectangle all the way to the back, front to back. And that goes all in this rectangle area. What that will accomplish using the root boost is that you won't have flatness and lack of volume on top of your hair. You'll have volume and it will just get up and do things, which is great. So that's Lift It from Color Proof. All of the Color Proof products have sunscreen in them and heat protection up to 400 degrees. So that's why it's important to stick with this brand when you're doing this technique. Second one is Super Plump. This goes from the roots all the way to the ends, maybe about 10 sprays for a full head of hair. That goes second. Third, Plush Locks. This has Tahitian vanilla, smells like sunshine. It's fabulous. Really, really great as a leave-in moisturizer, especially for very dry textures. My hair's naturally curly, not that you can tell right now, but it is. And so it needs a little extra oomph when it comes to moisture. Now, when leave-in conditioner isn't enough, which can happen if you've done a lot of color treating, or you're just really dry, or it's the end of summer, or a whole host of variables. When that's not enough, that's a sign that you need one more step. That is Crazy Smooth. This is a styling treatment oil. That goes about 2 or 3 pumps. You want to emulsify it in your hands first, then rake it through your hair. When you emulsify it, rub it on the fronts and backs of your hands so that all the product doesn't go just in one place. Then when you run out of product on your palms, hit the back of your hands and then do the rest. You're only gonna do Crazy Smooth for the last about 1/3 of your hair. That's the thirstiest part, that's what needs it. And putting it anywhere else will just make you look greasy, like you haven't shampooed your hair or you forgot to, or any of the above. And it can also affect volume and how much you're gonna get if you're weighed down with oil. So without further ado, the next thing that I did was just blow dry my hair with a Denman brush. There's another video that talks about a Denman brush, what it is, how to use it, why to use it, why it's wonderful. So after blow drying, then I do my hair into the usual sections that I always do on my videos. A rectangle here at the top, another parting from recession to recession where the hairline jumps back, the next from middle of the ear to middle of the ear back, and then leave that last one out. For that, you always need professional quality clips. These hold hair better, they last longer, they don't tear, they're not the kind of thing that's gonna wear out in a couple of uses. Cricut is one of the brands that I really like for that. And so that's another thing that is used. So moving on, once the hair is already blown dry, this section has already been blown dry, then you're going to take about a 1/2 inch section to 1 inch. This is maybe 1 inch. It can be kind of wide, but you never want your section to be longer or wider than your tool. So whether that's a hairbrush or a curling iron, you always want it within that. Otherwise there's bowing and bending of the hair that makes it look like, well, it's less than beautiful. So here you go. So you put in this way and then let that clamp down and then just slide through with a brief pause on the ends. And there you go. Nice and shiny and smooth. when you compare that to the other piece, it doesn't quite reflect the light in the same way when the cuticle isn't sealed as it would if it is. So same thing, bend it around that edge. This is a spring-loaded curling iron. It's not a Marcel. It's made by Hot Tools. It's an 1.5-inch barrel. If you pause a little bit more, you get a little bit more bend, which I like around the face or especially with layers. So you take your next section just like that. This is what the hair looks like up close without that extra bump of heat to smooth it out. So you'll take that section, open up your curling iron just like this, bend the hair around it, and then turn as you pull down with a brief pause on the ends just for a little extra bend. Now this is that rectangular shaped section, so I don't have much left. I just have what's here and then a couple of pieces on this side, and then I'll be finished. Same thing, lift it up, bend down, and then in one motion, turn it counterclockwise as you go down with a brief pause at the ends. Now, go to the other side. You can tell which hair's done and which hair isn't because there's shiny and not shiny. Pretty simple. So, same thing. I like to smooth it out with a brush beforehand. You might not have to, but it does give you a more sleek end result. Brief pause and drop down. And you can see that last piece where it's just not playing with the other kids. And so you pick that up, take that section, briefly brush it through, and then lift up, pivot around. Here I'm going clockwise with a brief pause on the ends, but just running right through. And voila, there we have it. Smooth, shiny hair that isn't flat, but at the same time doesn't have that flat ironed look or the look that it's all been done with a curling iron and just, you know, too bouncy mall walker looking. So thank you so much for joining me. Any questions or comments, please reach out to me at hairamedicssalon@gmail.com. My name is Molly Mikesell, owner of Hairamedics Salon in La Jolla on Girard Avenue. Thank you for watching.